Hello and welcome to How Is That Not a Thing? Every episode, our experts will present crazy products and inventions, and each of us will decide whether it's real or not, and you can play along at home. I'm joined today by Freddie Ridell.
Hello.
Nurul Shamir.
Hi.
And Sophie Marquand.
Hi.
Guys, who would like to go first?
I've got an invention that I'd like to share with you all.
We kick it off with Freddie? Okay.
So we are all familiar with the concept of a whole chicken in a can, aren't we?
Yes.
Disgustingly familiar.
You take a whole chicken, you broil it, you insert that whole chicken into a can, and then later you take it out and throw up everywhere. But this isn't the invention that I'm sharing with you today.
Okay.
Oh.
The invention I have to share with you is sandwich in a can.
Okay.
So
This sounds wrong.
Well, I'm fairly sure I've heard of a pie in a can. So.
But that makes sense because that has liquid in it. Justify a sandwich being in a can,
okay,
please.
so you're a high-powered business person. You've just come home from working at Deutsche Bank. No, it's your lunch break at Deutsche Bank. You don't have the time to walk all the way to the Lidl next door to get a sandwich. You just reach into your bag, pull out a can of instant sandwich in a can, pop that open with the little ring pull, remove the sandwich from inside where it has been stored in its original state. The bread is still spongy, the ham substitute is still substitutey, and you just eat the sandwich from a can.
Not sure.
What shape is the can? Like
Can
tin
shaped.
can shaped?
Yeah, the sandwich
like
is-
very different to a sandwich shape.
Is it like a sandwich Swiss roll?
It's a sub roll.
Oh, okay.
Sounds revolting.
They're quite a lot bigger than an average
It's a
size
small
can.
sub roll.
A very right.
So the smaller
okay.
you make the sandwich, the higher the flavour quotient is.
For the concentration. You know.
There's more flavour per square sandwich.
Why a
Umami.
can rather than like vacuum packed or like in a
I think cans
polythene
keep,
bag?
canning thing makes it keep. Maybe it's for like apocalypse shelters.
You're now deciding that this sandwich purely exists for the paranoid and the deranged.
Well, you don't want to just be eating spam after the bombs drop.
When the bomb drops.
Tell me prices.
It's a competitive market rate.
What?
Like, they're not going to be much more expensive than a sandwich.
What flavours? Like what have we got? What toppings we got on the sandwich?
Ham and cheese,
Nice.
a favourite, lettuce.
Just the lettuce sandwich.
Lettuce is not a favourite sandwich.
Yeah, the BLT is
Are you a
sandwich.
vegan?
The big three types of sandwich. There's ham and
Lettuce
cheese.
sandwiches.
Also, you know you were saying competitive sandwich prices. So, like, if you went to somewhere and you bought a sandwich, I'd expect to pay somewhere between £1 and £3. That would be, you know, I wouldn't pay more than like 80p for a can of something. So I'm not sure.
You're
Yeah.
thinking about it just in terms of the food, though. You've got to think about it in terms of the storage and the survivability.
I also think about that in terms of like tinned tomatoes. I still wouldn't pay more than about 80p for a can of
Well,
that.
you do you, so if you don't buy this product, then this doesn't seem like it's for you. I'm not
Also-
selling it. I'm just telling you it exists.
Also, your use case of a high-powered Deutsche Bank employee
Yeah, that's what I take issue with.
who's also got a bomb shelter.
If any sort of banker is going to have a bomb shelter, it's going to be a Deutsche Bank sort of banker, isn't it? They're
Why?
the type.
I'm not sure
Why?
if this is going in a horrid direction.
Everyone knows the banking stereotypes.
Which are?
The Swiss like chocolate, the Germans like bomb shelters, and HSBC's laundering money. I'm doing that libel thing again.
Yeah.
I think we should ask one more question, Freddie, which is, would you eat it?
Oh God, no.
Cool. On that note, listeners at home, if you're on a bus, go talk to the conductor. Do they think that is a thing? Have they tried the sandwich in a can? Talk to your conductor now.
Go on, Marilyn.
Okay, Nurul, do you think it's a thing?
I've definitely seen a gross image on the internet of a burger in a tin can. So I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
No.
Sophie?
Yeah, I'm going to say a very hesitant yes, but there's a lot of underlying no.
Good answer.
Okay, that's a yes.
Strong.
Oh, I'm just going to be contrary. I'm going to say no, because it sounds...
Disgusting.
It might as well not exist. Like, we're not going to come into contact with that. That's disgusting. Freddie?
Well, I have to tell you that it is real.
Oh!
Yeah.
God.
The sub rolls, the pictures on the packets look like sub rolls that you just bought at Tesco. I assume when you get them out, they do not look like
Where
that.
did you come across it? Like just the internet or in a shop or
Yeah, just on the internet.
Deutsche Bank. Gosh.
Sophie, would you like to go next?
I can do, yes. Okay, so this is an idea or sort of a concept, a thing, a phenomenon, and it's targeted at people who have a fair amount of money and a fair amount of time and have good taste on the whole, with regard to food, that is. And it's called Chef for You. Chef for You. So it's basically like a middle ground for people who don't like takeaways but also don't like cooking. Okay, so what it is, so Chef for You, it's kind of like a takeaway thing, but it's kind of not. So you can hire a chef to come to your house and cook a meal for you, and they have a selection of menus and dishes that they're able to cook, and they bring along in their little van, they bring the ingredients, you say like how many people or whatever that you want it to be for, and they also bring the pots and pans necessary. All you have to have is the cooking appliances, essentially, and I guess they specify that as well. You can kind of choose from set meals that the Chef for You can make. If you want to pay a little bit extra, you can learn how to make the things that your Chef for You makes.
It's like personal catering.
Yeah.
But then also a bit of a personal touch with the learning.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And you can do it sort of on the night. So I guess they just have stockists, and it's like ordering a takeaway, but you're like, no, I'd rather order a person to come cook for me in my kitchen.
Yeah. So you can do it quite last minute.
Yeah, and you can do it as kind of dinner party entertainment.
Have you used this?
I haven't personally used it, but I'm kind of interested in it, although I really enjoy cooking, so I might just kind of look at the website and get some ideas from the menus and that sort of thing, and interesting ingredients, so yeah. Yes, Freddie.
I have a question. So you said that they, charge extra money to teach you how to do it?
Yeah.
What's to stop you putting up voyeuristic cameras and just recording them?
Well, I mean, nothing... But that's weird.
That's like the worst hole picking.
If someone wasn't telling you bit by bit, exactly what, I'm putting in a little bit of cumin here or whatever, you probably wouldn't get it.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, so there
What
you go.
if somebody hiring this chef had a really shit kitchen?
I guess there are prerequisites, so they on the menu they specify what you need, so it might just be like a hob. Or it might be like a microwave. I guess for these kind of clientele, it's not just like a microwave.
Sausage in a microwave.
Probably, or a sandwich in a tin in a microwave.
Oh!
So
That would not end well.
Well,
on the whole, they can bring their own stuff to you. So say they need a special kind of blender or something, they have it in their little van and they come along with their ingredients, and I guess they can do maybe 3 houses a night or whatever. You make a booking, so yeah.
What about the cleanup?
I don't know how that works actually. It's not really specified. I think probably you wash up your own plates, but they wash up their stuff. I don't know.
Oh, because they take it away.
Yeah,
well, they'll
they take it
presumably
away.
have a supplier.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
This sounds cool.
So
I'm sold.
Well, if it doesn't exist, let's make it.
Start up.
Is there an app? There's always an app. So
not that I'm aware of,
Oh.
but perhaps we could, ask them and create one.
I personally, sounds real to me. I'm convinced. I'm sold.
Right. Chester, if you're in the park, go find a dog, look at it, and tell it whether you think this is a real invention or not.
Do that now.
Go tell the dog. We'll wait.
Yeah.
Freddie, is it real?
I think it's real. It's too good
No?
not to be real.
I think because it's so good, we should have heard about it by now, so I'm going to say it's fake.
Ooh, good.
Ooh.
I think it's real, but I
already
like
said
this.
that.
Chef for You. Chef for You is not real. That
Woo!
is Sophie creation.
Really?
Have you checked there's no service?
Sorry,
Quite
Sophie,
like it.
you know that is a real thing, right?
What?
That exact
for
service you're describing.
What is it?
Is it?
Yes, professional chefs will come to your high-end
yeah, but
kitchen.
like,
and cook.
this is like
not
a-
like a set
This
menu.
is democratized. It's not
Yeah.
just rich people doing it.
I know you can definitely get a caterer to your house, but I don't know about the teaching bit or that kind of more personal touch. Sounds really cool though.
Yeah.
If it doesn't exist, then how is that not a thing?
Play the stinger.
Cool. Okay. Nurul, would you like to go next?
Yes. So,
Okay. First timer on how is that not a thing?
hi.
How is that not a thing, Virgin?
Thank you very much for having me on, guys. Nice to bring some diversity. There is a rapper called Devo Spice, and he has a Doctor Who concept rap album.
Right, I'm going to need you to name some tracks.
Well, the main track, so on a different platform, he released a track called I Am the Doctor, and got a lot of play, bit of interest. a cult following, bear in mind, not any kind of real interest.
So this was just like on one album, like that. It was
Well,
a
not an
normal
album, like he'd released it. I mean, you know, people don't really
Right.
have out SoundCloud, whatever. I don't know where he released it.
Wait, who is this person?
Devo Spice.
Devo Spice.
Well, you can't Google it, Sophie.
Oh no, I was just looking up Chef for You.
Is it real?
It's a thing with that name, but it's not quite the system, I think.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, and it got enough hype, I suppose, and he thought it was funny enough. So he started a Kickstarter to fund him recording a Doctor Who concept rap album.
A rap album. I was going to say, I have heard of, I think, a band called Chameleon Circuit
Who do
Yeah.
Rock? Time Lord Rock. They
Time
released
Lord
some
Rock,
bangers.
right? So it's not
Bangers.
completely crazy.
Yeah, their songs are a strong all right.
Yeah, like painfully mediocre.
Yeah,
but, like,
they're exactly mediocre.
Yeah.
The sort of music that you would expect YouTubers to release. Follow
Okay.
the vlog.
give us more information about it. I'm really curious.
I mean, he writes raps. So each track on the album corresponds to a different reincarnation of the Doctor.
Oh, that's cool.
That's genius.
Yeah.
I've not listened to it personally, but one of the tracks actually has an ex-companion singing on it.
What?
One of them.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Devo Spice, of all people, couldn't get a few more celebs in. Who the fuck is Devo Spice?
I don't know.
No, you don't know. Okay.
No.
Has he done anything else?
I don't know.
Is Devo Spice not a series of like herbs and spices for your kitchen? Sorry, I'm still
You're on the
like,
chef for you
chef
thing.
mindset.
We'll work on the business plan for Chef For You later.
Chef for you exists. Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't do more research into Devo Spice.
I didn't care to.
Oh,
Okay.
dedication.
Professional.
Sorry.
No, that's cool. The theme song is pretty electronic, right? So I can imagine it as kind of electronic rock, and I guess it could be kind of electronic-y rap as well. So it's not crazy.
Electronic rap. That.
I mean, it sounds crap,
well,
but it sounds like it could be. It could
I
be
mean,
a
the thing is, not every song has to be a remix of the Doctor Who theme tune. So he's probably like
They're all
getting a lot of
different.
a lot of different interesting stuff in.
I'm sure he's getting the stories of the Doctor into it.
What was your favourite song?
The one about the cyborgs.
The Cyborg Man.
Right.
Yeah.
the cyborg.
The cyborg.
There's a really
Fuck
interesting.
the Cybermen! I watch Doctor Who. I do actually watch Doctor Who. Like, I really do. I love David Tennant. Like, I'm sorry.
really interesting thing about Doctor Who is that it's actually, if you think about it, it's not science at all. It's just a man with a magic wand. It's magic.
Yeah.
So it was originally meant to be a semi-educational program, and that's why 2 of the first 3 companions are teachers.
What, by their own? What you mean, like?
Their
in their,
characters.
Oh, the characters,
not the actors.
So I was like, oh, aren't they actors?
Yeah, no.
Teachers
they
on
were-
the side.
They, I mean, aren't. I think all humans have a lot to teach us, Sophie.
Yeah. Well, my department would claim that it has theological undertones
It's really-
included.
Okay.
My department would say it had political undertones.
And my department can't make eye contact.
Okay.
Oh, we haven't asked the people at home.
People at home, how's your mum doing? What does she think of Devo Spice and his Doctor Who concept album?
Don't let her go on too long. I know she's got a lot of
Does
opinions.
she think it's spicy?
Oh!
Sophie, what do you think?
I'm afraid I don't think it's real. Just you stumbled a bit.
Yeah. Understandable.
That's like an admittance right there. But I kind of did think it was real up until you just said it sounds that it's understandable that it's not real.
It's the
I'm pretty sure Devo Spice is a real person, and I also think this album's real.
You think it's real?
I think it's more of a I want to believe.
Is it real?
Points to Freddie Ridell.
Really? So the worlds of Doctor Who and rap combined.
Well, I can't vouch for how authentic Devo Spice's rap is or how good he is. It could be a kind of an insane clown posse kind of deal. Who knows? But I did fool you guys with my,
Stumbling.
yeah.
Yeah. Double bluff. Very nice.
Well, nice. Well, we're going to listen to that right now.
We obviously can't put it on the podcast.
And that is exactly what I hoped it wouldn't be.
That was
Deleted.
terrible.
Oh, it's horrible. I'm the Doctor. It's like a sort of
you
Mighty
guys.
Boosh rap, but not funny.
Yeah.
I
Very
was
nice
expecting
of
like genuinely brilliant music.
Yeah, I was thinking Devo Spice sounded like a sort of shit mate of Snoop Dogg's or something, not
Devo
a
Spice.
white bloke from Reading.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Doctor.
Doctor Who.
Oh.
Whoa! And on that note, we're going to move on to the next one. Shall I have a go? Shall I?
Oh, go on,
Shall I
then.
bring one to the
Don't let me
table?
read your
Yeah.
book.
Okay. So this next one is quite futuristic and pretty innovative, and you won't probably have seen it in Topshop, but maybe one day. Who knows?
I'm offended
Okay.
by that.
Why?
How dare you insult Topshop?
It kind of goes hand in hand with the new kind of wearables revolution.
Right.
You heard of
No,
this
what
idea
was
of like wearing technology being kind
Like
of
a
part
watch?
of you.
Oh, like Fitbits
Google
and Apple
Glass.
Watches and that's
Fitbit,
Yeah,
Apple
okay.
Watches, or other. There's more things like you can sort of having like a pedometer in your shoe. Who here has glasses or has worn glasses at some point in their life?
Indeed.
Indeed.
No,
You've worn sunglasses.
I've got
surely.
perfect vision.
Yeah.
Well, I've
worn
had
sunglasses.
laser surgery, so...
Oh, that's all right for some. You won't need this next invention. This is a surgical implant into your temples with just a magnet that lets you removes the need for arms on your glasses, and you just
Oh, okay.
magnetize your glasses to your head.
I hate it.
That's
Yeah, I'm sure you hate it.
You can't have an MRI.
You can't.
Well, that's one issue you've brought up immediately, but it's still a thing, and it's quite handy because one, it reduces the size and weight of your glasses, makes them more portable. It's easily interchangeable.
But at
Just take your
what
glasses off,
cost?
put some sunglasses on. Oh, look at that!
Does anyone else find?
And you'll look really cool because cool people.
No.
You know what's already quite easy to take off and put on is glasses.
So I find, this might be just me, but I find if a magnet goes near my head, I feel really weird.
That's
Yeah.
called the placebo effect.
It might be the
Yeah,
placebo
yeah, I
effect.
think-
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
read-
there's any proven link, right?
I read an article where... I think I read this like years ago, but this guy went to a bunch of homes where parents found their children were particularly rowdy and quite unmanageable. And he turned off their Wi-Fi. And in a certain percentage of these homes, the children calmed down.
It's because they weren't using the internet.
That's
anymore.
exactly what it was. So
Yeah. You solved it.
It's because they weren't constantly looking at pornography. It calmed them right down.
I was going to go for
Children.
Netflix. I was going to go for Netflix's
I
kids
was
feature.
going to go
but-
for...
No, this is definitely from at least like 7 years ago.
Okay, so also,
Wait.
this means that you can't give your glasses to someone else. And I know that doesn't happen all that often, but now it's turned
What do you
like
mean you can't?
it's turned £100 pair of glasses you could buy from Specsavers into an £1,000 pair that you've got to have specially made to work with your shitey head magnets.
But there's less moving parts, right? It's like going to be harder to break. It's not going to fall off your head. So if you're doing like extreme sports or anything, that's like pretty secure. What else? You'll look like a badass because people will be like, "Oh, how are those glasses staying on?"
Oh, but you can't do that thing where you put your hands behind your ears and go waggle waggle with your glasses.
No, that's true.
That's not very
This
cool.
is a classic Maxi idea.
What makes you say that?
It just reeks of Maxi.
Okay.
Stinks.
Well, it sounds like people have come to. No one has any more questions, right? What do you think, Norbert?
Go to your neighbour's front lawn and bleach the answer into the grass with weed killer.
That's just Norbert. That's not.
Yeah, no, don't everyone do that, just you.
No, there's a whole spate of garden vandalism.
There was, in my final year at school, some boys who did exactly that, but they did a giant phallus into
No.
the field.
Oh, that's quite
school
funny. Though.
field.
That's quite funny.
It was funny.
Not a winky.
No, I've never seen one of those before.
I really hoped the story was going to be they bleached "that is a thing" into the grass with an amazing amount of prescience.
Okay, so Nurul, you think it's not a thing?
Almost
You think I've
definitely.
made that up?
You absolutely have.
Sophie, what do you think?
I think it's a ridiculous thing if it is, and I don't want it to be, so it's not.
Freddie?
It's definitely real.
Freddie's right!
What?
It's absolutely a thing! We are on the level of just... It's an issue. We're always getting the same
It's
answer.
because you spend so much time researching weird stuff like this.
I don't spend much time on that.
What are the health effects of having a magnet inside?
Oh, it's
your
almost certainly a
brain?
really bad idea.
Well, yeah. So what?
And
happens-
also, there's nothing you could do, like, with it. Also, the initial sort of idea I had about it being related to wearable technology is wrong, because if you put a magnet near a Google Glass, it's going to break it.
Do you have to... So, like, when you purchase this and have it inevitably inserted into your skull, do you have to carry a card in your wallet to say, for, like, you know how you say, like, oh, I'm a diabetic or whatever, oh, I have magnets in my brain, so they don't put you in an MRI machine if you ever have a car crash and you're unconscious?
I mean, presumably you have the word twat tattooed on your forehead, so...
Fair.
I think people just know. They'll just see you and know.
Okay, so do they protrude out like Frankenstein?
I think there's a mild lump.
You know, you can actually get sort of, I think they're silicone implants.
I've seen that.
So you can get like a silicone implant heart that pulsates as your temple pulsates.
I've seen people get implants that give them little horns on their forehead.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah,
and you
I've seen
can get
Thought
them in
about
other
it
parts of
myself,
your body.
actually.
Yeah.
What, silicone implants?
No, the horns. Like the horns.
When you go to get those, I'll get my
Your
septum
breast.
pierced.
Yeah, I thought you were referring to getting a boob job.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not averse. Sophie, why don't you give us another idea?
Okay, so this thing is a little, I don't know, step down from the other one. So recently, I'm going to give you some kind of anecdotal evidence, anecdotal reasoning. Recently, in our house in Durham, we've had a little infestation. One may call them gremlins, others may call them mice. And they've been nibbling on crumbs that we've left on the floor. So we set some traps. And they're not very humane, but they're more humane than the traditional traps, the kind of ones that are wooden with a sort of metal thing and a spring, and then it just claps shut on it. These ones are plastic, which means that you don't hurt yourself when you open them. It doesn't spring back on your own.
But you still hurt the mouse.
But you still kill the mouse. I don't know whether you break its neck or how it works, but it has these kind of plastic teeth. That anyway.
It sounds way more dangerous.
Is this one of those traps that just takes off a finger to show the mouse as a thief?
Red-handed.
Cut off its right hand.
Sharia law.
Like the mouse has been in the Yakuza.
So anyway, I was talking to our maintenance man. He's the one who provided us with the traps, and we were talking about humane traps and systems for killing mice, and that got me thinking, are there traps that are less humane than the traditional trap? So I did a bit of research.
You're going for full-on barbarism here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So
animal cruelty is your sort of motto?
Bag. It's my bag.
It's what you're about.
Animal cruelty is absolutely what I'm about. So this sort of idea is a fairly old concept. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether... I assume it was from the US originally, not sure. But it's a mousetrap connected to a gun.
Sorry, that's how I laugh now, apparently.
Connected to a gun?
So basically what you've got a sort of base like you do in all the traps where you put the bait.
Yeah.
So a little, ball of whatever, or a bit of peanut butter, Marmite, onto a spring-loaded lever. The animal obviously eats the food, triggering the lever, which then pulls the handle of the gun and shoots the mouse right in the head.
Oh my god.
That would presumably do a bit of a number on your floor.
Yeah, does the bullet go through?
They are bullets.
What caliber bullet are we talking here?
I don't know about guns, but I have a grim fascination with that sort of thing.
Can we go, even less humane? Like, give all the mice SARS? Or smallpox blankets?
Takes too long.
Diseases... No, that's an effective way of controlling...
Genocide is not a joke.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, no, I was... Not kidding. I was not kidding, but I wasn't
That's always my response. You know when people on Yak saying oh, something is the worst, having a cold is the worst, or the worst thing in the world is having a cold, and then I'm like, no, genocide. That's always my comeback.
Anyway,
let's move over back to mouse traps. So this
is it a patent idea or is it an actual product?
So it was. As I said, it was at a time and in a place. I actually don't know where it was from, but it was kind of pre-patent, and I think it didn't achieve its patent. But it was a
So
thing.
it's a product rather than a patent.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Curveball there.
Is it from the 50s or something?
Again, not sure when it was.
You put Marmite on it. When was Marmite invented?
No, I'm just saying...
That's the key to finding
I'm saying we put Marmite on our
traditional
traps at the moment,
because
we don't have peanut butter because it's expensive.
Or a gun.
Okay.
I've just remembered this is 19th century USA.
Right.
What century is this? 21st.
So that's 2 ago.
1800s in the USA. They were shooting mice They barely had fucking tech then.
Mate, they're still shooting people now, so I mean...
Yeah, but not mice.
This is why it took so long for us to develop technology. They were buggering around with mouse traps.
Yeah.
Buggering around.
So basically it's a loaded gun mousetrap system in 19th century America.
I feel like poisons, they would have had poisons or like other more... I mean, it's possible though, I guess.
Well, I mean, what about you, Jesus?
Jesus, if you keep rodents as a pet, go over and tell them that you love them and you're sorry. And then tell them what you think the answer is.
Yeah.
Freddie, what do you think?
I think that is not real. I don't think they had ammo to spare in the cowboy times.
Well, potato guns, you know? I think it might be a thing.
I don't know how you...
Sorry.
You know potato guns don't shoot potatoes.
I know.
That's how they harvest them in America. They had to use guns.
I've been hunting potatoes all day.
I got myself this 34-pound buck. They're a real
Wait,
thing.
no, but my point is, I don't think the ammunition is an issue because there are plenty of things you can use as ammunition. And
potatoes for one.
This is specifically a bullet. I'm just going to clarify.
Specifically
a bullet.
Well,
yeah,
honestly, I think you can make it out of anything. A bullet out of anything, so I say yes, it's real.
That's a
I'm going to tell you,
attitude.
you can't make a bullet out of everything.
If you throw it hard enough.
I think it's real though. I think it's real.
Maxi and Nurul are correct. It is real.
Wow.
Way!
Whoa! That's so cool!
That image is disturbing to say
That's
the
like
least.
an episode of Saw, but
The mouse is looking right at its own death as it's... I think that mouse wanted death. It's standing on the plate.
euthanasia for mice.
We will definitely post, if we can, something of this.
I will post that
Listeners,
image.
I really thought it would be a mouse-sized gun. But it's
No,
not.
it's-
It's a people-sized gun.
It's a normal handgun.
It's a
I
people-sized
thought
gun.
it was going to be a rifle.
Whoa.
Like, massively
That would be
oversized.
too
in
long,
my hand.
too long to like fit under your sofa. And, you know. So yeah, there we go. That's real, and this is the kind of thing I research in my free time.
I don't know about you guys, but I like to read on the toilet. As a child, my mum used to come in and tell me off because there were piles of books in my bathroom.
I poo so
like a session.
fast.
My grandpa reads
I'm
an
just-
entire novel on the toilet.
Now, because of smartphones, I take my phone into the bathroom and I sit and scroll on Instagram until I can no longer scroll. There's a business where you send them, for example, a celebrity's Twitter account or a friend's Twitter account or whatever, and they print this onto toilet paper.
Nice.
So you read it, and this is a way of keeping yourself entertained briefly, but without making you spend too much time. So, you know, if you use 4 little bits of toilet roll, you read 4 tweets.
Can you get it printed on any like toilet paper of your choice? Is there quality? Can you have like, so for example,
3-ply versus
3-ply,
2.
yeah.
Oh no, this is definitely like lower level stuff.
Okay.
It's
So can I present an alternative use?
sure.
So find the Twitter of someone you really dislike
And print that.
Wipe your-
and wipe your arse on it.
Yeah.
That is definitely an
Well,
improvement.
I actually got for my birthday a couple of years ago a Sudoku loo roll, which had a load of Sudoku puzzles on it. The big issue with that
The
is that
pen just tears through
it tears through and ink like absorbs into the
your bum hole.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, into the
no,
paper.
but like, wouldn't.
Like capillary action goes on, you know.
Well, yeah, but also you're
Oh, I
wiping
see.
ink on your bum.
Yeah, Maxi's
Talking
inky
of
bum.
Inky bums.
I never used it. I'm going to be honest, I haven't used it.
I
Still around.
So I got something like that, but it was instead it was like crime scene investigation, like printed across it, which is quite funny. And I didn't use it because actually the quality of the loo roll is really bad as well. But then I kind of got to desperate measures, so I started using it, and I ended up with just black everything.
Oh, so the issue of the ink's integrity is valid.
Yeah, if we're
Yeah.
using poor quality paper, we're probably using poor quality ink. You know,
Yeah.
all these things.
Hitting that episode 2 inky bumhole. So it's people's Twitter. What about tweets that only make sense if they're pictures?
Presumably, they're just bringing up someone's Twitter feed and then literally just printing it. So if there is a picture, then like it turns up. But
Can you do it bespoke? So could you be like, oh, I really want, I don't know, you find your, okay, this is a bit weird, but you could, if it was bespoke, I really want my best friend's Twitter on my loo roll because I like find their Twitter really funny. Or
Yeah, of course.
I really want How's That Not a Thing Twitter
Yeah,
on my loo
absolutely.
roll.
you
Yeah,
can
you
make them
can.
bespoke. Celebrities, Twitter accounts, your friends, David Cameron. I don't know what. Sorry.
Definitely Cameron.
Sorry.
So, as with Freddie's sandwich in a can thing, how much for the slew roll? How much for the bespoke? What, you know?
It was a while ago I read this, and so I think it was definitely about $10 per roll. I mean, it's not meant to be bought in bulk for proper usage. It's just a bit of a laugh.
Okay.
So you could have one toilet roll holder for your real toilet roll and one for your banter.
Yeah.
Would you wipe with a Twitter feed? Tell your neighbour.
Grab your gal pal by the upper arm
And have a little gossip about whether you would wipe with this.
and then talk about yogurts and digestion. Hello.
Would you use it? Or do you think it's a thing?
I think it is a thing.
Yeah.
I do think it is a thing. Maxi, do you?
I do as well.
Ooh.
I think it's exactly the kind of novelty crap that the internet is perfect for producing.
I'll go ditto. Why not?
It is a thing!
And on my right, hello, it's Maxi. Maxi, do you have any... what's your one, Maxi? Hello. Tell us about your idea. Is it real?
Okay, so this is a new product. I think it's like 2 or 3 years old now. Any of you ever smoked? Don't tell the audience. It's naughty. If you've ever smoked, you might know that nicotine is quite an addictive substance. Some people struggle to stop smoking. Obviously, the longer you smoke, the more your body and your brain gets used to the nicotine being introduced to your system, and acclimatizing yourself to not smoking every day can be quite difficult. Well, that's why people have released products like e-cigarettes. Except, e-cigarettes is like a growing industry. The amount of money like companies like Nicorette and stuff are making from basically keeping people hooked on e-cigarettes and other nicotine-based things that sell themselves on helping you quit, but never let you actually wean yourself off. They're making a lot of money off that. So this is a product that actually helps you quit using the same technology of those. So it's an e-cigarette tracker, and you smoke with your electronic cigarette, and it tracks the number of puffs you make each day, just like a pedometer, and you put it in your app on your iPhone or Android, and you see how much you smoke, and then you can see whether you're cutting down successfully or not.
That has to be real. I mean, my iPhone has been tracking my footsteps for years without me knowing it. Like, that must be, like, it has to.
Yeah, this was something that Nurul and I discovered earlier today, that, your entire health can get tracked by...
It's weird.
Digital
It didn't
stuff.
used to, but now it's a thing.
It tracks everything.
Yeah.
Everything feasible, everything conceivable.
If you want to input the data, it will take it for you.
But it will take your pedometer data,
Yeah,
whether
without
you
you
want to
asking.
or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. It was nice to see how much I walked on the 13th of February 2012.
And how much did you walk?
Don't know. I didn't
Wait,
actually
it goes
see.
that far back?
Yeah, it's been running for
you're
ages.
joking.
Yeah. Footsteps.
Okay. Well,
And you can charge up e-cigarettes using USBs, of course.
No, you
That's
can't.
when you floop the data across.
Is an e-cigarette a vape?
Yeah. What you're thinking of as a vape has a reusable water container, but e-cigarettes have a cartridge.
yes. Well, I wouldn't classify them as the same thing, but okay.
I love vaping.
Probably the same technology. Do you?
I wish vaping didn't have the shit rep it does, because I think vaping's so cool.
I was gonna ask, like, why does it have the shit rep it does?
It's because it's the sort of person that smokes and is really into, like, modifying things, but it's
Yeah.
really, like, easy and lame to modify. So it attracts the sort of trench coat wearing, fedora tipping bellends that,
Who-
like, want to have something cool and with a blue LED in their life, but aren't, like, interesting enough to go into proper cosplay or anything like that.
They're,
or
like-
I make a car.
Probably vegan.
No.
No, they're not
They're
cool
probably
enough for that.
friendless. So they need some way to bond, and that way is vaping.
I mean, it's a concept. It's an interesting concept. Is it real? Possibly, probably. Does it
Would
not?
you have to plug it in, or is it like Bluetooth Wi-Fi ready?
You have to plug it in. In the same way you charge it. You can USB charge it, like Freddie said, but it works quite like what are they called? Jawbone ups. So, which is, they have a little cover on the end, and it's like a mini jack, like a headphone jack, so you can plug it into your phone, which syncs through that, or you can plug it into a computer and charge it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The technology is there, I'll vouch for that.
Lisa, what do you think?
Lisa at home.
Lisa, walk into your nearest newsagents, go behind the counter, knock all the real cigarettes off and go, your business is dying, and then stride out. And then walk back in and tell them if you think this is true or not. Right, I think we've given her time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freddie, do you think it's real?
I think that is real.
You think it sounds real? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
No?
It has to be.
I think it's one of those sort of over-technologized things where it's like you're just adding too much technology to things that don't need it, you know? So I don't think it's real.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not real, unfortunately. But
What?
how is that not a thing? But seriously, wouldn't that be a great way? Because the current e-cigarettes and stuff, they literally just get you hooked even more, because you just get more nicotine in your body without, like, I guess the sort of adverse health effects of smoking.
that's
Well, the way you're
questionable.
supposed to do it is you're supposed to each consecutive cartridge has less and less nicotine in it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's how that
But
works.
people end up more hooked, and then either sticking with e-cigarettes for a long time or moving back to cigarettes.
But honestly, I think that's a problem with the people rather than the e-cigarettes.
Tell you what,
Well,
boffins,
that's
get
really
working
correct,
on
dude.
this and come back when you've got a prototype.
Yeah. Okay. Freddie.
Hello.
Hi.
Final one today, Freddie Ridell.
Right. We are all, of course, familiar with the Lazy Susan.
You mean rotating
A
tables?
rotating platform for drinks, perhaps
Cheese.
snacks, cheeses,
Afternoon tea.
afternoon teas, card games, even.
Really?
So, probably.
You could put anything on anything. That's how they work.
So, Lazy Susan, they're great when you're in the parlour, or perhaps on the veranda. But what if you're in the swimming pool?
Oh.
What if you're in the swimming pool and you need to, like, share some beverages with your fellow friends?
Oh, so
Curveball!
Introducing the Juicy Susan.
okay. So it's not under the water.
No, that
Oh.
would be
Like a
fucking
lion.
mental.
Your drink would be swimming pool water, and your water would be juice.
You're talking about a Lilo with a Lazy Susan on it?
No, it's a circular sort of inflatable donut with a tray on top, and you can spin that round.
Oh. Okay.
Juicy Susan.
What's it made of?
Inflatable plastic with like a hard plastic shell on top, which is the
Oh.
tray with a lip.
A lip. Oh, so that they
So
don't
the
yeah.
drinks and beverages and nuts and card games don't fall off.
So the hard plastic thing rotates independently of the
No, it
rotation
is
device.
attached to the
Oh.
flotation device.
Yeah.
So
that
you
makes
just
more
spin it manually.
Yeah, I mean, you spin a Lazy Susan manually.
Okay, so the pivot point is the water.
Yeah, if you could make a
Right.
Lazy Susan using inflatables and water, that would be the Juicy Susan.
As a person who's spent some time on the water today,
Did you know Sophie Rose?
I try. No, one of the things I notice the most is how much the boat or whatever you put in the water, the person rocks, and that's not very. I mean, you're serving these drinks in beakers,
Tumblers, I would say. They're
Yeah,
in tumblers.
but tumblers they're notoriously short, and you sort of tend to fill them to fairly high, and then
Yeah.
you've got this thing floating on the water, and it depends on the buoyancy of the water, and then the juice goes everywhere, and it's a mess.
They are
What-
notoriously short.
What if somebody on the other side of the pool does a cannonball?
As
I
with
think
all
it's quite good.
pool-based toys, responsible sploshing must be observed.
Is that what it says on the?
So that's the
Please
first thing on the
splosh
blurb.
responsibly.
Caution: do not over-splosh. Now, I've been waiting a bit longer to drop this one on you, but there is the Juicy Susan Deluxe.
What? How?
Oh,
Give me
go
the
on.
deluxe
Now,
version.
the Juicy Susan Deluxe is the same as the earlier Juicy Susan, but in the middle of the tray, there's a long, thin bit that goes down with a weight at the bottom dangling into your pool. And that gives the Juicy Susan an unbelievable amount of stability in terms of sloshing.
I like it. That's better.
Okay.
The product is sound, personally, I think, but the delivery makes me think that you made that up, and then when we called you out on the lack of stability, you then fixed it for the deluxe version.
I mean, it does look bad, doesn't it? I probably, if I were making it up, that would have been a bit of a faux pas. but I'm not.
But that's how politics
genuinely
works.
wanted like a big reveal. And maybe I'm double bluffing you here, because I thought the same thing, and the designers thought the same thing. We all thought the same thing, and I knew that you would have issues with the sloshing.
Let's have a think. Actually, Raphael, you should have a think.
Raphael at home?
Raphael in the pool.
Oh, topical.
Raphael, no, you, listeners at home, if you're in a swimming pool now, maybe have a think about whether you could see this in your pool.
Maybe do a headstand in the pool with your feet holding a tray above the water and see how stable you are.
Cool. Nurul, do you think it's real?
I'm gonna go for fake. I'm gonna go with my gut.
Okay. Your gut tells you fake.
I'm gonna go with Nurul's gut.
It's a good gut. I think I'm pretty sure the deluxe version you did just make up on the spot, but I think the Juicy Susan is a thing. It's an awful name though. If that's it,
Yeah, I don't
something
like
that.
it.
But
it's got to be real.
Go on, Freddie.
Okay, Nurul has a good gut, because it is not real.
I have seen like water tray-esque things before in, I don't know. Are you looking up a Juicy Susan?
I'm looking up a water tray.
I'm going to look up a Juicy Susan. Actually,
Really be careful googling Juicy Susan at
Do you know
home.
what a juicy Lucy
Oh look,
is?
no, I've got one here.
It's. Oh dear lord! No. But no.
Look, sorry, I've just found basically what he's describing, but remote control.
That is kind of cool.
I
The
feel like-
one
has it got-
addition it didn't need.
Has it got food in the middle? Because
Yes,
that's
pretzels
much
in the
better.
middle.
That's an improvement on that, Freddie. Actually.
Look, Freddie, this is exactly what you've described.
Oh, it is. This is
That's
made by Moe.
That's a Moe and Chandon life belt with a tray in the middle, and that looks classy as fuck. And so the Juicy Susan, if not branded as such,
It's
does
viable.
exist. As we draw to a close, I'd like to just share with you 3 of the more outrageous patents I've seen this week.
Hello and welcome to Maxi's Patent Corner.
This just kind of shows how ridiculous and how outrageous people's attempts at patenting and trying to make money generally off other people's inventions, how crazy they can kind of be. The first one I saw was a technique for swinging on a swing. People have tried to patent techniques for swing use. Normally, obviously, you swing front to back, just swinging. Yeah. Oh, you want to go side to side? That's patented. Not allowed.
That's actually patented.
Yes.
I don't know if I believe that, because I've just infringed on patent law during my childhood now.
I'm not sure if the patent necessarily went through. Well, and also patent for say you've just put an order through on Amazon. There's a patent on changing the quantity of goods ordered post-order. That's the kind of technical nuance that you can get in a patent.
It's really sensible.
Yeah, but to patent it seems like quite an obvious thing to be able to do, don't you think? And then finally, a patent on using training manuals in the training of staff.
What?
Right? There's a patent on you got your training manuals and you've got your staff who need training, not allowed to use them together. That is a technique that is patented.
Is it like a specific technique or all techniques ever?
You hold the books sideways.
Now, I'm sure that most of these patents have really been like legally made redundant, but that's just the kind of crazy shit you can patent.
Yeah, add us on. Well, like us. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Do you become a fan? Do you like?
Become a fan, like us on Facebook.
Facebook. That's it's. How is it? How is that not a thing on Facebook? And the images are sort of blue. How is that not a thing? Logo. And like us, become a fan. Follow us on Twitter. HitNat Podcast at HitNat Podcast. Or how is that not a thing?
Or one word.
Lots of fun
Not enough
stuff.
characters in the Twitter name.
No, not enough characters in this Twitter sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also we're on SoundCloud and now on the iTunes podcast, making listening easier than ever.
Brilliant.
Well, thank you, Freddie. Do you have a Twitter handle you want to...
I'm at egg-shaped.
So I'm at Clowes.
Freddie Ridell, FREDDIE RIDELL.
At gin_and milk.
What the fuck?
There's no underscore between and milk.
No.
No, it's only one
I
underscore.
told you
Annoying,
it's
right?
weird.
At Sophsoph, that's at SAUFSOPH. And if you're lucky, you can scroll back all the way to whenever it was, 2012, and you can see all the tweets I did at Rebecca Black on Fridays.
Nice. Well, thank you for listening to How Is That Not a Thing? Stay tuned for our next episode. See you next time!